so much for joining me on the Well and Worthy Life podcast.
And I'm so flattered that you asked me to be here.
Oh, well, gosh. I mean, it's just such an honor, really, to have you on. And as I was telling you before I started recording, I looked at I've been following you for a while. You know, you and I've had some conversations, but I started looking through your blog and more about you. And I was like, I knew we were in alignment with a lot of what we do, but I feel like we are so much in alignment about trying to help women in midlife, right?
Yes, yes. I just think it's such an odd time. And really, you hear about men having the midlife crisis. You know that when you have children, your life is going to change, it's going to be different. But nobody really ever talks to you about how you're going to feel when they leave, or it's just this time in life is something to deal with, and you need to be prepared. And I just think there's so many women that are just really a little lost and floundering around, like, now what do I do with myself at this point? And so it's a big deal. So I
It
like to
is a
talk
big deal.
it I like to talk about all of it. So
Hmm.
yeah.
Yeah. So I was reading about, how long ago did you start your blog?
I really started in 2015, um fairly seriously, but still had no idea what I was doing. So it's been a while.
So yeah, that has. And then blogging wasn't, I mean, it was starting to take off a little bit, but it still wasn't that big, right?
Well, I feel like it was really getting big.
Hmm.
Instagram certainly wasn't anything like it is now, but I just love to read other people's blogs, and I thought, well, I'll just start one. So I did.
Well, and you've done very well with it. So, okay, so you started maybe 2015. Did you work? Did you do anything before that? I mean, we all
My
know you worked because you have three daughters, right?
Yeah, yes, I had a catering business for a long time. As the girls got older, we moved into this big old house, and
Mhm.
that took a lot of my time as well. It needed some renovations, and they were in high school. I had one in college at the time. They were riding horses, they were playing soccer. I was really busy, and so I didn't have time to do very much, and I wasn't catering anymore.
Mhm.
So my life was full, but then when my last daughter was getting ready to go to college, that's when it really hit me. I need to do something. And I got my yoga teacher training certification and started a blog.
Really? Oh, I got my yoga teacher training certification a few years ago too. Did you ever teach yoga?
I did teach yoga. I taught it for a couple of years. I'm not teaching anymore. And
Uh-huh.
I'm not even doing much yoga, and I miss it. That's one thing. I do so much better in a group setting. And so
Mhm.
I'm missing being able to go to a class. I try to do some things at night every now and then just to stretch, and so I don't forget the poses, but I'm not doing it like I want to.
Oh, wow. That's so interesting. So your daughter was going to college and you were like, okay, I got to do something for me because now I have some time for me. I think a lot of women are like that and they don't know where to go or what to do. How did you tap into, well, I'm going to get my yoga certification and I'm going to do a blog? What made you think you could even do it? Right?
You know, I think maybe that's just part of my personality. I'm a little bit spontaneous, and I didn't really think about it. I didn't think about, well, what if the blog becomes successful? I didn't even think of it really as a business. I just thought, well, I'll write things and I'll put out pretty pictures, and I had no clue. So I really had a huge learning curve. And the yoga, I had been doing yoga for a while
Hmm.
and just been encouraged to get my teacher training. And so that was one of the best things I ever did. Even though I'm not doing yoga anymore, I met a lot of people that I still keep in touch with, and it was just a life-changing experience. So it was great.
I said my yoga training, I loved it. It's very intense, and you do get to know those people and and really build very close relationships with those people. I loved my time. It was funny though. I was the oldest one in my yoga training, and they called me grandma, and I wasn't even a grandmother.
Oh, no, that's
It was kind of jokingly, but it was like, oh my gosh, you just don't think about being the oldest. Used to I was the youngest everywhere I went. Now I'm the oldest everywhere I
what
go.
happened. I know. I know. I was 23 when my oldest daughter was born, and I can remember looking at some of the other mothers and thinking they were ancient, just old. And then as my youngest daughter was graduating, I was one of the older moms because I was maybe 31 when she was born.
Uh-huh.
So it's just funny how it changes. And now I'm like, where did the time go? It
I
just
know.
and
It's
this
so
year.
true.
So do you feel like this year has gone by so slowly and so quickly all at the same time?
Oh, yes, yes, yes. It's been quite the year, hasn't it?
It sure has. And I'm not going to say it's been a bad year for me. It's been
Mhm.
one of the best years in a lot of ways.
Mhm.
Um, I hate what's going on in the world. It makes me sad, but just personally for me, having my husband, he traveled 5 days a week.
Oh, wow.
He has not been anywhere except for one trip to Atlanta since March.
Wow. So that's a big change in y'all's life.
It's a huge change. He's home every night. Usually, I cook dinner every night.
Mhm.
My daughter was home for maybe 3 months right after the quarantine started,
Mhm.
and that
Mhm.
my middle daughter who lives in
Uh-huh.
Boston. And then, so yes, things are very different, and we've had to adjust, but it's been good. It's
So
been
I
really.
have to ask you, how has that been? Because you've been married to your husband for how many years?
It will be 30 years in October.
Yay! That is awesome. That is so awesome.
Might let him live. I
Why did you say what?
said I might let him live at this point.
So, how has that been? That's a big change for y'all to be together as much, since he used to travel so much. How's that been for y'all's relationship?
It's been really good. It has been really good. I think that, he kind of had his own thing and I had my own thing. And sometimes he annoyed me. And I'm sure that when he came home, he was just used to being in a hotel all the time. And it's so much different. But I think being together more has been good because we've gotten used to each other as opposed to, oh, there you are. You just, I don't feel like cooking dinner tonight. I haven't cooked in 5 nights or, whatever.
Right, yeah.
Um, but now we have our little routine for the most part. And it's more fun in the summer just because there's more daylight and we can cook out. But, now, like last night, the three of us, my daughter is home again for the
Mhm.
holiday. We watched a Christmas movie and it was just fun.
Yeah.
So we've adjusted and it's been really good.
Oh, I love hearing that because I will say that, some people, they said the divorce rate is up. I mean, there's a lot of people really struggling. Jeff and I have had some moments. Not gonna lie, I've been like, oh my goodness, because we're used to being able to do our own thing, and we kind of have different views on what safe is, and so it's been a struggle. I'm not gonna lie, it has been a struggle, but he's my third husband. I told him I'm keeping him. I'm done with that divorce. They're all the same. No. But well, so let's get back to your cooking. So do you cook every night?
I cook most nights. I do cook most nights.
Okay. And so how old are you, Suzanne? Do you mind
Um,
I should have asked you if can ask you this,
no,
but
it's 7,
how old?
57.
57. Okay. So I'm 55. So, and you look amazing. And you've got to go follow her Crazy Blonde Life Is it crazy? It's just Crazy Blonde Life on Instagram, right?
It's Crazy Blonde Life blog.
Blog. Okay.
Who has
Um,
Crazy Blonde Life has no posts, but won't let me have the name. So
oh, of course, right.
I would.
Oh gosh. Okay, so you look amazing.
You are so sweet.
And as we age, I work with my health coaching clients all the time, and as we age, it gets harder, right? So I want to know what you're cooking and how you, if you used to be a caterer, then you enjoy cooking, I'm assuming, right?
I do really enjoy cooking. I don't always make the healthiest of meals. I try to go for healthy and tasty, and I go
Mhm.
in spurts. When I feel like I need to lose 5 pounds, I'll start making, grilled salmon and broccoli and whatever. But it just depends. I just love to try new things. We had pesto over linguine last night, and it was pesto from Costco, and it was delicious. And I just made a big salad to go with it. Some days there's time, and some days there's just not enough time.
Right, right. Well, so have you ever struggled with your weight or anything like that? Did you see a difference when you hit 50?
I've been really fortunate. I have always wanted to lose 5 pounds. You know,
Right, we all do, right?
that 5 pounds that I can never lose, and I've been a little heavier in my life. Um, Last May of 2019, I had a really bad appendicitis scare. And I went to the hospital just in horrible pain, and my appendix was rupturing. And as they were taking it out, it burst.
Oh my
And
gosh.
I got a really bad infection. Anyway, long story short, I lost about 12 pounds. And I have tried to maintain some of that.
Mhm.
Um, just through exercise and eating well. But I'm not opposed to a handful of M&Ms every now and then. You just
Everything in balance, it's kind of like I like to say nothing's off limits because we have to have that balance in our life.
we
Um
do, and sometimes we need a reset. And I just recently did just a week of a little diet that my daughter was doing, and it was just enough to make me stop snacking. I had gotten it, COVID, it's hard when you're home all day. And I've
mhm.
gotten into some bad habits of going to get a little piece of cheese and a cracker, and one cracker would turn into 10 crackers. And I just needed to stop the snacking. And
Mhm.
so that did really help me. And I feel like I'm back on track now and eating better.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. It is. It's making that plan too to be intentional. I think a lot of times we get into habits, and like you said, oh well, I've been getting that cheese and crackers, and and then it does. It just adds up, and then before you know it, it
your
can be.
hands are tight.
Yeah, everything. Well, and I always tell everybody you need to be putting on those button pants at least once a week because right now we're all wearing leggings or joggers or something with elastic in the waist.
We are, but I'll tell you, I love jeans. And so
Mhm.
even though I have on my joggers and my elastic waist in the morning, I always put on a pair of jeans when
Oh,
I take a car. So that's just kind of my uniform. But I do a little bit of both, and I can tell you, I've invested in some loungewear. That's for sure.
exactly, exactly. So, okay, so now I have to ask you, what are your favorite jeans? Because I'm a jeanaholic.
Right now, my favorite jeans are the Citizens of Humanity Rocket. I really like the Rocket crop,
Uh huh.
but time finding, can't say that, the rocket crop. I can just find the right ankle, which I'm short and my legs are short, and I like for my jeans to hit me right at my ankle. So sometimes I cut them off or just tuck them in in my shoes. But yeah, Citizens right now. I'm also liking frame denim. Frame runs large, and so it's hard to find the right sizing. And then
Hmm.
I love Mother
Yeah.
denim.
Mother was my first ones that I like really felt like they made a huge difference in my life. And now, I mean, I'm all over the place with different ones. Rag and Bone has kind of been my go-to lately. But I haven't bought a lot of jeans this year because, but I have them all. I love them
Yeah,
all.
I
I
do
love
too.
jeans too.
And I probably have jeans that I've had for, gosh, I'm going to really say 20 years. I have a pair of old, maybe they're sevens and they're the flare, but they're kind of tight in the
Mhm,
thigh, almost down my calf. And I keep those because if I put those on and they are really snug, I know it's time to cut back. So
there
I
you
just,
go.
but they're really low cut, they're low rise. And I
Mhm.
had to get used to that high rise because I'm so short waisted. And sometimes I feel like my waistband of my jeans is up in my ribs a little bit, which is,
I totally how tall are you?
I'm 5'4".
Okay, so I'm shorter than you are. I'm 5'3". I'm really shrinking, so probably more like 5'2" and a half.
I don't want to shrink.
Well, and that's why I do believe it is the exercises we can do today to help us not shrink, right? And
I,
so I've seen
it,
you do a lot of you do strength training.
I do. I do. And
So
that is,
tell me about that. How often do you do strength training?
well, up until about 2 weeks ago, 4 days a week. But
Wow.
we have a mask mandate right now. And I just can't work out
Mm-mm.
as hard as I want to with the mask on. So
Mhm.
I just took a step back and I've been doing some things at home and I'm just going to get through the holidays. Hopefully that will change and I can get back in the gym.
Mhm.
Um, it, I don't understand a lot of the why some things are open and some things are closed, but I just feel like I shouldn't be going to the gym right now. I want to be able to be around my grandsons. My daughter is in Germany and pregnant, and I want to be able to go and visit her at the
Oh,
drop of a hat. I don't want to be able to say, I have to say, oh, I have COVID, I can't come. So,
right.
I can't go right now because of the travel ban, but there's so much going on.
Now
Just
wait,
so
what's your daughter doing in Germany?
her husband's in the army.
Oh, so how long has she been over there?
She's been there since August, and they'll be there for 3 years.
Oh, and so you haven't been there at all since
No,
and is this her first baby?
it is her first baby, and she is just the strongest thing. She's been in graduate school. Well, first of all, when they got there, and he immediately left and went to Poland after they quarantined. So she knew nobody. Her car hadn't even arrived yet. She was pregnant and doing online school. She is the strongest girl. I'm so proud of her. I can't even tell you.
I think anyone who's married to military is very strong. My brother was in the military and he's a pilot, flew for the Marines, and I, just the travel. I said that is would be so hard. It's almost like you're a single parent. I mean, it's just that is. I mean, they're gone so much, and being in a foreign country. My sister-in-law was over in Japan by herself with my niece for a while. It's crazy.
Yeah, it really is. But I've had to get used to it. It was really hard the day she left. It was really, really hard.
Oh, I bet. I bet. And so where are your other two daughters? You said one is home right now.
And she lives in Boston. She's engaged and getting married in 2022. And the
Oh,
oldest daughter lives just down the street with my two grandsons, and that is such a blessing. Um, they're fun. They're a lot of
and
fun.
how old are they?
They're 2 and 5.
Oh my gosh. I love seeing them on your stories and on your Instagram. They're so much fun. So
They
cute.
they are fun. I'm so just lucky that they're close by, and then I get to have a relationship with them.
Mhm. Oh, I think so too. I love that part of my life now, having a granddaughter.
Little granddaughter. Oh my
I know.
goodness.
Well, I what kind of so you had 3 girls and now you've got these 2 little boys.
I know.
See,
And it,
I had 3 boys and now I finally have a girl. It's like having a little baby doll to me.
I know, and I want a girl. I keep saying I'm ready for a girl. I love and my daughter in Germany is having a boy too. So that'll be my third grandson.
Oh my
And
goodness.
I'm ready for a girl. And they're all like, talk to Rebecca. It's her turn. So
Oh, how fun. That is so fun. Okay, so then so now that you can't go to the gym, what are you doing for exercise?
I'm doing some weights at home. I walk my dog.
Mhm.
Almost yesterday it snowed. We didn't get the walk in. Well, we got a short walk in at about 9 last night. But we take really long walks. And that's been one of the best things. You know, when you have a big dog, you have to walk them. So we
So
just take our
what kind of dog? I've seen him on your Instagram too. I can't think of what he is. What is he?
Amos. He's a golden doodle.
Ah,
And we
yes.
want to we love him so much. He's just our baby. He's not happy right now outside because
Oh.
his dirty feet.
Now, how old is he?
He'll be 1 in January. He's still
Oh, okay,
puppy.
so was he? Did you get him during COVID then? When COVID
We
happened?
we did. We didn't realize we put our deposit down in January or February, and then we got him in April. And my goodness, we went to my nephew's wedding back in October. It was in Hilton Head,
Mhm.
and we got there, and we were supposed to go into the sanctuary because it was our anniversary. And we canceled our trip because we missed the dog so much.
Oh, how funny! Isn't that so funny?
Well, we had boarded him, and I was worried. I was just worried that he wasn't getting it, and it nearly just made me crazy. So, yeah, we just came straight home. We dropped our bags at the house, got back in the car, and went to pick him up. And
Oh.
we just celebrated our anniversary outside. We had a fire, and we and Amos.
And Amos was there. Isn't it funny how we become so attached to our dogs? So Jeff and I have two King Charles Cavaliers, and I've had dogs when my kids were little. All the time we had dogs, and I liked the dogs, but I wasn't like they were my children. I feel like my dogs now are like my children.
That is the truth. We always had dogs too. At one time, we had 3 dogs, but they were big and they were outside, and I just didn't have time to get attached to a dog. And now I feel the same way. He is my 4th baby, and he's so rotten, so rotten. But it's fun. It's really one of the most fun things, just to be able to take care of him and get to know him. He's like a person. I always tell him he's my favorite person.
Yeah, because he doesn't talk back. He does whatever you ask him to do. Well, maybe.
Well,
He's always excited to see you anyway, right?
he is.
Uh,
He is.
oh gosh. Well, okay, so tell me, have you do you feel like your your skincare routine, your eating routine, your exercise routine has changed in the last 10 years for you at all?
Probably not exercise. I've been lifting weights and working out in that way for a very, very long time, and I
Mhm.
really enjoy it. Eating, yeah, well, I was a vegetarian for 18 years, and then
Really?
yes, the whole time my girls were growing up. But then we have a really great little farming community in this area, and I found a local farm, and the bacon is what got me. Oh my God,
Uh-uh.
of all things. Yes, so I started off just like I would eat bacon every now and then. And then I thought, okay, well, I'll just eat a little chicken. I do try to be very, very conscious of where my food comes from and buy local if it's at all possible.
Mhm.
Um, so that's been a big change. And then what was the other thing?
Skincare.
Skincare, yes. Skincare. I have hydrofacials a lot, laser. You know, I'm not opposed to any little thing that you need to do to make yourself feel
Mhm.
good. I will be the first to admit I have Botox. I start to go crazy. I think it's wearing off. I have it in my neck. I have it in my chin. I have it all around my eyes and my
Mhm.
forehead, full of Botox. I love it. And filler.
I'm due for some Botox myself.
Yeah, I mean, people don't want to talk about it, but I just feel like if you're gonna do it, you need to just be honest about it. That's
Yeah,
my so,
agree.
yeah,
I
I but I do try and my retin-A is every single night. I think
mhm.
that's important. So, yeah, my skincare, I guess I've just become more conscious of sun, and even though I still love the sun, it's hard. That's the hard part for me. But
I have become so much more conscious of the sun too, and I agree. I mean, we have a beach house, and you go to the beach a lot too. And I mean, I'm always either wearing a hat, I'm putting tons of sunscreen on all the time and everything because I do know that sun can damage our faces tremendously. Although I have heard that it was really the first 18 years that it did
I
the
know,
most damage.
right?
Like, oh
my
well.
my mother was such a sun lover, and she never put sunscreen on us. I had some bad burns when I was little, just
Hmm.
because. I mean, she did, but it wasn't a thing. It
I was
wasn't
gonna say, yeah, it was
great.
definitely not a thing. Yeah.
No, and I used
Yeah.
to take batter pan, you know what I'm talking about, that you put around your frying pan? It's like it opens up and you put it around your pan to keep the grease from going everywhere when you're cooking,
Uh-huh.
and I take one of those to school, and my friends and I would sit out on the steps, and I'd put that reflector thing under my face. So it was like double trouble. Gotta
Oh
get
my gosh. Isn't it funny? The things we used to do. Oh my heavens. Mm.
if I'm talking about that.
It is funny. I mean, we used to get on the top of our sorority house. We had a flat roof on our sorority house and we'd climb up there. People would put iodine on,
Oh,
that,
yeah.
you know, and we actually had a suntan bed in our sorority house that I used to get in all the time. I wouldn't get in a suntan bed now for anything, right?
I
But
I know. It's just things have changed.
oh yeah, yeah.
Thank we know. At least we've learned and we can pass it on to our children. Although it's hard when you're 20 and you don't have any wrinkles, it's hard to believe it's ever going to happen, but it sure
It does. It does happen. Um, well, okay, so water. Do you drink a lot of water?
I drink more than I used to, but probably not as much as I should.
Mhm.
I'm trying to remember to
Well, I
drink
mean, you
more.
look so good, so I'm like trying to figure out your secrets because you look so darn good. Maybe it's just genetics too.
I think you're the one with the secrets. You look amazing.
You're so sweet.
Guy's room. I was so jealous when you were given the tour the other day. I thought,
Oh,
that's what I need. I think I'm going to get a Peloton in January, just in case this continues on any longer.
right. Yeah.
I want just a piece of equipment that will motivate me a little bit more. And I do think I would use it.
Yeah. Well, and I'll
So,
tell you something else that I've done recently is if you go to YouTube, there's a lot of great workouts because I'm a group person. I like to be in a group setting. So you can go onto YouTube and put in yoga class or HIIT class or workout class. There's lots of free classes that way. And then I do another class that I love. In fact, she's going to be on my podcast. Tammy Stokes is in Atlanta, Georgia, and I've never been able to take her class unless I was in Atlanta. And now she does a virtual class on Zoom
you can take it.
and I can take it. It's a West Coast workout. So anyway, it's so awesome and I love it. And it's one of the better Zoom classes. And you have to so you sign up for it and you have to be there at the time she's doing the class. It's not a recording, which is good because when they're recorded, I tend not to do them because I'm like, "Oh, I can do that later."
Right. And that's the thing about having an appointment with the trainer. You have that motivation because you said you would be there and you know you're going to have to pay whether you go or not. So
Right.
it, yeah, I think it's great to hold yourself a little more accountable. And
Mhm.
I guess that's where the dog comes in, got
Yeah,
to
well,
watch.
and I think that's great. My dogs are little, so in fact, they're over here snoring. I don't know if you can hear them. It's like
It's so fun.
ridiculous. Um, but they're little, and so I can't take them on long walks. I can take them on shorter. Well, like I could take them on a 2 or 3 mile walk, I guess. Um, but they get all dirty, and I hate. I hate having to wash them, and they're really lazy dogs. They like to sit here by my desk and fall asleep and snore whenever I'm working.
So it's so, Amos sleeps a lot too, but he will drag me down the street. And I finally bought a gentle leader because I
Mhm,
thought, and it does help, but he
mhm.
still pulls me. It's like he doesn't
It's that
feel,
golden retriever in him.
yeah, and he's so strong. If I don't
Mm.
put that on him and he sees a squirrel, he could drag me.
Oh, I bet. Yeah,
So,
I bet. I bet. Okay, so I was gonna have I had some questions. I'm just trying to. So I think we've gotten a lot of them. Oh, I know. Here's a good question. What does your perfect day look like?
oh my gosh, see, this question throws me. Like my perfect day in the summer or my perfect day, like just my wild imagination or my perfect day, just normal every day. I'm always like, what does that mean even? I can't.
Yeah. Oh, that is good. I would say your perfect ordinary day. Just your
My,
perfect, like, then at the end of the day, you're like, yes, I
my
like.
perfect day is when I get up early, and I like to get up at 5 a.m. and I
Mhm.
have an hour for meditation and journaling and really that inner work that is so important. And then a good workout. And
Mhm.
then I like to know that I've written a blog post that resonates with me and hopefully the people that read it. I
Mhm.
like to spend time connecting with all the people that I follow and follow me on Instagram. And
Mhm.
that's really important for my business. I like to eat well. I like to cook dinner and spend time with my husband and family. Um, I like to be outside. That would be included in a perfect day. And then maybe just time to read a little bit, something. I don't ever have time to sit down and read a book, and I really enjoy that. And then, a glass of wine, a nice dinner, and an early bed.
Oh, I
So,
like that. Yep. That's about what my perfect day would be like. Well, and I'm sure spending time with your grandchildren too, because
oh, for sure.
that would
Yeah,
definitely be my perfect day. I'd have to have a little bit of time anyway.
yeah,
That
we
little
love.
hug around your neck that just says, "Now, what do your grandchildren call? What do your grandsons call you?"
Oh my gosh, this is so funny. So when they were born, when Hudson was born, I said, I'm not going to be called grandma or grandmother, mama, or even worse, something like Meemaw. My youngest daughter says, okay, Meemaw. And I know there's nothing wrong with that name. And some people are called that, and it just was not my preference.
Right.
I wanted them to call me Suze. And for
Oh,
my youngest one still, Graham, he still calls me Suze. Hudson somehow decided he was going to call me Grandma. So he
no.
walked. I'm right his neck. He walks in the door and says, "Hey, Grandma." I'm like, "Where did you get that? Stop! I'm Suze." He said, "You should be proud to be my grandma." And I'm like, "I'm proud to be your grandmother, but you have to call me Suze." So we have been round and round about that.
And
He
how
thinks
old is he?
he's 5.
Oh, how funny. Oh,
He thinks
how funny.
it's hysterical that he's calling me grandma.
Oh my gosh. See, I don't want to be called grandma either. And so my granddaughter calls me Dee Dee. And so she's only
Oh,
17 months old, maybe 18 months now, but she calls me Dee Dee. So because it's really easy, I knew it would be easy for her. And with my name being Deanna, I was like, this will be great. So I'm hoping she stays that way, but I hope she doesn't like decide that that's not going to work for her anymore.
I have a feeling that there were a few daughters involved in the grandma. I'm not sure exactly what the source of it was, but I'll get to the bottom of it.
Oh my gosh, that is
If
so
it kills
funny.
me.
Okay, so you said books, and that jogged my memory. I mean, I love to read. What do you like to read when you do have time to read?
I like to read a little bit of everything. I don't like anything too, like, I don't like science fiction. I don't
Yeah.
like
Mhm.
anything. I love historical fiction. I like to read historical fiction. I really love to read all kinds of self-help books. I'm reading the one right now. I just started it. It's called Blowing My Way to the Top.
Ooh.
And it's by the girl who started the Way hair products.
Uh-huh.
And she's a celebrity stylist and she moved to LA with $300. And so I just
Oh.
like to read success stories. I've been reading A Course in Miracles for like 6 years. I'm still trying to read it and get
What
through
is
the
it?
A Course in Miracles.
A Course in Miracles.
It is like the Bible. I mean, it truly is.
Oh,
It's just it's yeah, look into it. It's really
I
interesting.
will. I
I
will.
love beautiful coffee table books. I
Mm,
just got a Ralph Lauren. I like to look at the fashion. I
mm.
love books. This house is so full of books. They're in every room, stacked up in corners, in my basement, cookbooks.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, just
I
everything.
loved your tour of your home, your Christmas tour, and I loved your Tory Burch couch. Oh my gosh, that was amazing. Y'all, we'll link that in here so that y'all can go watch that. That was really good. I like that.
Oh, thank you. I have a decorator that's been helping me for many, many years. And I said, can you promise me that this is my forever couch? And she said, yes, I promise you. And I love it. It's the only
Oh.
piece of furniture Amos is not allowed on.
Yeah, I don't blame you. I don't blame you. Oh, Suzanne, so what do you have planned for 2021? We're here to yeah.
2021. Well, I wanted, I want to write a digital course. I
Mm.
want to talk about my life and how I've changed. I'm a different person than I was 10 years ago, totally different person. And it's just from the inner work that I've done. So I want to share that and maybe help other women my age to figure out, everybody has their own journey, but you can figure out the steps to take. And sometimes other people's stories are inspiring or
Mhm.
how somebody else did it. So I want to be able to put that out there and say, this is how I did it. Maybe you could start here and see where it leads you. So I really want to write a digital course and put that out there. I want to keep blogging. I want to travel. I want to go
Oh,
somewhere.
you and me both. Oh
Yeah, I really
gosh.
do. I want to go to Germany, see my
Yes. Yes.
grandbaby. Um, I just want I want to be open to whatever's out there. I
Yes.
say, um, my intention is to hold on, let me think because I write it down. My intention is to ask for divine guidance and clarity for what's to come in my life.
Oh, I love that. I love that. And I'm excited for your digital course. I'm actually working on a course right now that I'm launching at the probably around February, maybe end of January, February. That's going to be, and it's going to be talking about balance. I mean, in fact, that's the name we're looking at to name the program. And it's
Oh,
learning
that's nice.
what
I said, that's nice. That's just so appropriate.
it is. Well, I just think that I've been a health and wellness coach for over 2 years now, and everybody comes to me mainly about their weight. But as we know, it's so much more than that. And it's about having this balance in our life. And as we get older and we're changing so much. And I love in your on your blog you said when it was talking about you were talking about midlife years and that we don't have to follow the rules. Whatever rules that we thought we had to follow, like we don't have to follow those. That I mean, we can write our own rules for our own lives.
And that's the beautiful thing about this time in life. You
Mhm.
can write your own rules and anything is possible. You can do whatever you dream you can do.
Yeah, and it's hard. I mean, you have to learn stuff just about when you started blogging. I mean, it was like I remember when I first started, I was like, "How do you do this? How do you get a website? How do you, then once you have a website, now what do you do? All these things. How do you
But
post on Instagram?"
but don't you think that continuing to learn and challenge yourself is just the key to being happy?
It's the key to being happy and it's the key to staying young, I believe.
Yes, for sure.
Learning, keeping your mind busy, like with learning new things and not just being still. I think personal development, personal growth is so important in our journey in life. And I don't think we should ever stop learning.
I agree. I do agree. It's so important. And I'm just really excited for what's to come. Even though I have no idea, you can't know, but you
Mhm.
can plan and you can dream and you can set goals and you can move toward what you want every single day.
That's
Even if
so
it's
true.
bad, you can still do one thing.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. Well, Suzanne, thank you so much for joining me on the podcast today. I'm so excited for everybody. I know everybody's probably already following you. All of my followers are. But if you aren't, y'all, you can find Suzanne at Crazy Blonde Life blog on Instagram. And then are you on Facebook too, Suzanne?
I Facebook and Facebook is Crazy Blonde Life and Pinterest is Crazy Blonde Life and I'm even on TikTok. So
Oh my goodness. Oh, good. Do you do dances on there?
no dances so far. We'll see.
I know. And do you have a YouTube channel or anything like that?
I have a YouTube channel. It's Crazy Blonde Life. That is another goal for this year is to be more active on YouTube.
Mhm.
I always think I have to have everything so professional, and sometimes it's just okay to do it yourself, put it out there, and see what happens. So
That's
I'm
right.
more of that.
Yeah. Being authentic. I think that's the key. And that's one thing I love about you because I do believe that you are authentic. And I love one of the things I love about following you on Instagram. I love all of your quotes.
Oh, thank you. I put an Alice in Wonderland quote up
I
today.
saw that. I saw
It's
now how does that come to your mind? Do you have books of quotes or do you read I mean like
I have a meditation. I listen to a guided meditation every morning, and the man that was leading it was talking about that quote. He talked about what
oh,
if. All, for anything to happen, you have to think, well, what if? And then he talked about the queen saying that to Alice. So I thought,
oh.
a really cool thing. So
Okay,
yeah,
so now I gotta know what meditation app.
well, it's not a meditation app.
Okay.
I love Oprah and I love Super Soul Sunday.
Mhm,
So I heard her interview Michael Beckwith
mhm.
not too long ago, and I'd heard of him, but had never really, learned anything about him. And I started listening to him on YouTube, and he does a meditation. He has a big, I don't want to call it a church because that gives the wrong connotation. It's a spiritual center in California called Agape
Uh-huh.
and he is a very, very educated man as far as just, education, but he's also spiritually educated. He spent time with shaman and been in the rainforest. I mean, he's done all of these things. So he pulls from all these different spiritual beliefs. But it's all really the same anyway. It's just how it's expressed. But he's really been helpful for me. So I've enjoyed listening to him. And it is a meditation, but it's prefaced with something to kind of get you centered, and then it ends with gratitude.
Oh, I love that. Oh, I'm gonna
Yeah,
have to check that out. I
yeah,
will.
it's
I
really nice.
will. Well, again, Suzanne, thank you so much for joining me. I really appreciate it.
Well,
Guys, hey, don't forget, make sure you subscribe to the podcast. I don't want you to miss one episode. We've got some exciting things happening this year in 2021. Be sure to subscribe, then rate and review the podcast. Y'all have an awesome day. Bye now.